sometimes our fear is the thing that's stopping us from really becoming the person that we need to be to have the life that we really want to live. And so I want you to think about today, like, what is something that's stopping you? What is that fear that's stopping you from becoming the person you need to be so you can achieve the dreams that you want to be? Hey everyone, Brooke Elder here, founder of Social Tenacity. And today, this weekend, I've been thinking a lot about what it means to create a life that you truly enjoy. And what does that look like? How do you do it? And like, why is that something that we even want to pursue? Right? It's one of those things that it's like, yeah, my life is great, kind of, you know. I remember a few years ago that my life I thought was great. I thought it was a life that I enjoyed, but very much we're stuck in like the rat race of doing the same thing over and over, trying to make ends meet. And my husband was going to a job that he didn't like. And we were just kind of in this like really like Groundhog's Day of doing the same things over and over and over, trying to get out, but we really didn't know how to do that. It came down to fear and like fear of stepping out of your comfort zone and doing something that may be reckless, right? Something that is a little scary. And the other thing, it was like we just didn't have direction. We didn't know what we needed to do to create the life that we wanted. We always knew that we were meant for something more, that there was something more that we could do out there. And like I remember when my husband and I were first married, we lived in this not so great neighborhood, but the neighborhood right behind us was a really nice neighborhood, had like really expensive houses and stuff like that. And so we would go for walks after work, and we would not go for walks in our neighborhood. We would go for walks in that neighborhood. And we would talk about what it would be like to live in a big house and how we were going to afford it. And we would come up with all these different ways and stuff like that. And we're just dreaming of like what life could really be like and how could we create this dream life that we really wanted. And my husband actually was the one that like he's very much a dreamer and very much into like we can just make things happen. And I am more like, I need strategy. I need like, give me the step by steps and then I can do it, So it took us a really long time of like thinking that our life, like it was fine. I look back at what my life was like 8 years ago, and it was great. We were still happy. Things were good. I was being a stay-at-home mom to my awesome kids, and like things were good. But sometimes you get this little like prick in your heart of it's time to change. It's time to do something different. And it's scary. And I remember when we we really felt like we needed to move. And we were moving an hour and a half away from where I had lived pretty much my entire life. Like I lived in the same county my whole life. And my husband lived in pretty much the same city his whole life. And all of our families were there. Like we were all within 10, 15 minutes from each other. And like we were just all like in this little area. And my husband and I really felt like we needed to move an hour and a half away. And it was exciting. It's always exciting when you're like leveling up and you're getting a new house and things are great. But as soon as it started to become a reality, I started like freaking out a little. And I was like, okay, what does this really mean? Like, is this really what we're supposed to do? And then you start like retreating back into, I want to stay in my comfort zone because this is too hard. And what really helped push me out of that is being able to talk to people who have gone through things like that before. And they're like, yeah, I recognize that. I know exactly what that's like. It's okay. When you're on the other side, it'll be much better. And I remember like a month after living in our new house, driving up my big windy street up the mountains to my house and just looking around and thinking, man, I am so blessed to live in the most beautiful place. And like to think that I almost didn't go through with this because I was too scared. Sometimes our fear is the thing that's stopping us from really becoming the person that we need to be to have the life that we really want to live. And so I want you to think about today, like, what is something that's stopping you? What is that fear that's stopping you from becoming the person you need to be so you can achieve the dreams that you want to be, or the dreams that you want to have? So when I think about a comfort zone, and some of you may have heard me talk about this before, but if we think about our comfort zone, we have like a bubble around us, right? So if this is us right here, we have like this little bubble around us. So just imagine this little bubble. Well, our dreams are out here. And in order to get our dreams out here, we have to expand our comfort zone big enough to encompass the dreams that we want. We become different people because we have to be different people in order to achieve the dreams and get the things that we want. And it doesn't have to be material things. It could be that you want to be a better mom. It could be that you want to be like a better spouse, be a better whatever. Like, it doesn't have to be like, oh, I have to have a Lamborghini, right? But even that is something that, like, you have to expand your comfort zone to become that. And so different ways to expand your comfort zone is to learn about things. It's to do things that scare you. One thing that I've learned is if it scares me, it means I need to do it. And you have to lean in. And it's really hard, but if you do it enough, it gets a little bit easier. It still is hard, but you just lean in and you just do those things that scare you. So one of the things that I did that scared me, I actually am afraid of fish. So when I was 2 years old, I was on a sailboat and I was dangling my feet in the water and like dragging it in the water, and I couldn't quite reach. Like, my feet were dangling and stuff like that, but then I couldn't reach the water anymore. So I kept scooting so my feet could get in the water, and I scooted right off. And I had a life jacket on, I was fine, and I remember the boat sailing away and thinking, it's okay, my dad will come get me, right? I swear that there were fish sucking on my toes. Those cute little baby 2-year-old toes, fishes were just like nibbling right on those. So ever since then, I've been very scared of fish. So I had to prove to myself that I could do hard things. And there's a lake in Utah called Bear Lake, and there's a marina there. And in the marina, is this one spot that there's tons of carp, and they're like this big carp. They're huge. And there's tons of them, like hundreds of them, all in this one little spot because people feed them a lot. So I was brave one summer, and for 5 seconds, I put my feet in the water with fish. And that, like, to some people is not really that impressive, but that was a huge step for me of, hey, if I can do that, I can do anything. So I've told you now a couple stories about how there's ways that you can start dreaming, overcome your fears, and start becoming the person that you need to be. Find what is that magic sauce, that uniqueness that you have, so that way you can start becoming the person you need to be. You can start sharing that, stepping out of your comfort zone a little bit, and be able to achieve the dream life that you really want to have. Bye, guys.